The Navy SEAL almost walked past them. Snow was falling hard, erasing tracks as fast as they were made, and the forest was quiet in a way that felt wrong. Then he heard it. Not a voice, not a cry, just a low, broken whine drifting through the trees. When he followed the sound, what he found made his chest tighten. A forest ranger lay half buried in snow, unconscious, her body shielding her canine partner who was trembling violently. The dog lifted its head when it saw him, eyes filled with fear and loyalty, and the SEAL realized something unbearable. Whoever they were, they had been fighting to survive long before he arrived, and they were losing. The SEAL dropped to one knee, scanning the area the way training had taught him. But this wasn't a battlefield. This was colder. Crueler. The ranger's face was pale, lips blue, her breathing shallow. Her name tag read Elena. Her arm was twisted at an unnatural angle, and blood had frozen into the fabric of her sleeve. The canine, a German shepherd named Ranger, pressed closer to her, growling softly, not in threat, but in warning. He was protecting her, even now. The SEAL spoke calmly, the same voice he used overseas when fear threatened to take control. He told the dog he was there to help. Slowly, painfully, Ranger backed away just enough to let him check her pulse. It was there, but weak. Hypothermia. Severe injury. And the storm was only getting worse. As he worked, memories surfaced, how he had once been found injured by strangers in a desert far from home. How survival sometimes depended on one person choosing not to walk away. He wrapped Elena in his thermal gear, knowing he was sacrificing his own warmth. When he tried to lift her, she stirred, whispering just one word through cracked lips. "Don't, leave him!" The SEAL looked at the dog, snow clinging to his fur, paws bleeding from miles of searching. Ranger hadn't abandoned her when she fell. He'd stayed. Kept her warm. Barked into the storm until his voice failed. The SEAL promised her he wouldn't leave either of them. He just didn't know yet how he'd keep that promise. Carrying her through the forest was agony. Every step sank into snow, every breath burned. Ranger stayed close, refusing to run ahead, refusing to fall behind. Twice the SEAL stumbled. Once he nearly dropped her. Each time, the dog pressed against his leg, steadying him. As if saying not yet. As if saying we're still here. When Elena stopped responding, panic surged. The SEAL had faced gunfire, explosions, and loss, but this felt different. This felt personal. He stopped, shielding her from the wind, and began emergency warming, rubbing her hands, speaking her name again and again, refusing to let silence take her. Hours later, or maybe minutes, time had lost meaning. A rescue helicopter's distant thrum cut through the storm. Ranger lifted his head and barked with everything he had left. The sound guided them home. Elena survived. So did Ranger. Weeks later, the SEAL visited her in recovery. She told him she'd become a ranger after losing her family, because protecting the forest gave her purpose again. Ranger had been her partner, her anchor. She said she would have stayed conscious longer if she could, but she trusted him. Trusted that loyalty sometimes comes on four legs. The SEAL left that day changed. He'd spent his life saving others through strength and skill. But that forest taught him something else. Survival is built on connection. On refusing to leave. On choosing compassion when it costs you. And somewhere deep in the snow-covered woods, a promise was kept. By a ranger, her canine, and a man who decided unbearable wasn't something you walk away from.